So our next presenter is going to have a look at artificial intelligence to becoming into intelligence amplified. So it's going to be a really interesting session. At Microsoft, Bing is the largest application of artificial intelligence, AI. In this session, you'll discover how Microsoft is using AI today and how AI is not only changing customer behavior, but how it's changing marketing as we usher into the era of conversational marketing and conversational technology through voice, through chatbots and mixed reality. You're going to see some real-life examples of how, through the power of AI, we're helping empower every person, every organisation on the planet to achieve more. With over 18 years of experience in client relationship management within the media industry, our next presenter has developed a passion for working with large corporate global businesses, helping them to achieve their goals and objectives through brand management and promotion. She specialises in developing advertising programs, targeting lead generation and maximum brand exposure using digital media with an emphasis on search engine marketing. We're very proud to have with us this afternoon the Enterprise Account Director for ANZ for Microsoft Advertising at, of course, Microsoft. Please give her a warm welcome, Renee Stops.
I can relate to wherever Stuart is. In his opening remarks, he mentioned that he was in the military, and I'm sure just like every one of us here, we didn't think we would be in digital marketing. There's probably two people in the room that know my history and what I was planning to do with my life before I moved into digital marketing 18 years ago. One is a girl that I went to school with, who I just realised was sitting at the table behind me, and another is Adam. I was pretty excited when Adam asked me to present here today. ANZ Stadium is where I spent majority of my childhood life. I was a professional athlete, and here in the stadium is where I broke 6 world records, and they still stand today. So I was pretty excited about that. It's a little bit about me that, didn't really know. But today I'm not going to be talking about athletics. I'm not going to be talking about race walking. I'm going to be talking about the exciting side of AI. And thanks to Scott, who was on the panel before, who really touched on a lot of the things that are happening in AI. And it's interesting that you were caught in a taxi. I don't know if you're still here because the lights are so bright I can't see, with the Microsoft AI EVP, because that's what the topic of my conversation today is going to be. But my question to you, is it artificial intelligence or is it intelligence amplified? Today, I'm going to share with you the exciting opportunities we have in front of us as marketers and how we can leverage search, voice, and chatbots to make our customers' experience more exciting. But before I do that, Microsoft is really proud about how we lead the way in AI development. And our mission to empower every person and every organisation on the planet to achieve more is one we take really seriously. Microsoft is all about artificial intelligence, and it's all about how we can empower every person and every organisation to use artificial intelligence. Now, when we think about AI, what first comes to mind? As we heard from the panel, AI has been around since the 1950s. Growing up, AI has been portrayed to us as movies as something scary. If we think about the Terminator and how it was going to take over the world. But our job at Microsoft is to demystify these myths and get everyone thinking about how I can empower each and every one of us. Microsoft has been on an AI journey of our own for the past 25 years. In fact, our very first CEO, Bill Gates, said that one day computers will be able to see, hear, talk, and understand human beings. He made this statement in 1991, and that was 25 years ago. And essentially, that is where we are today. Well, we have the technology and capability for computers to understand voice, vision, language, all by using data powered by artificial intelligence. Now, as I mentioned before, Microsoft's mission to empower every person and every organisation on the planet to achieve more is one we take really seriously, and we have leaders who are pushing this out and believe this every day. We've got Harry Shum, who's our EVP of AI and Research, and he's all about AI and how we can transform businesses. And our CEO, Satya Nadella, is all about how AI can impact the world and move society forward. If we remove the word artificial from the word artificial intelligence, and if you think about it from a search or a broader marketing sense, for us as marketers, it's all about understanding, putting the right message in front of the right audience by using the power of intelligent technology. And Microsoft is no stranger to AI development, and we've been on a journey for the past 25 years. It all began with data processing 25 years ago in 1991, and where we are today, we are at a place where we can have conversations with our computers in real time. Artificial intelligence isn't a scary thing. It's all about, for us at Microsoft, to empower us to make our lives easier, and for us as marketers to create better experiences for our customers. We're at a point in technology growth where we have evolved over time, but where we are today, we're going to see an explosion of new technologies, all leveraging the power of AI. I'm going to share with you some three examples that Microsoft are really proud of, and how we are empowering and making people's lives richer. We are using Bing search query data to search and put links to finding cures for cancer. People who use Bing are searching for, if they have the cancer it's being linked to is prostate cancer, is if they're starting to search for, when you ask questions about, lumps here, things like that, we're using those search queries to prolong people's lives with cancer up to 5 times. So if you think about the impacts of AI to us as humans, it's going to be amazing. It already is amazing. We're also using AI to predict climate change for the agricultural industry, and also, this is the most amazing one in my heart, to help the visually impaired. We're using AI technology to assist the blind being able to see. I'm going to share with you a video of what that looks like.
I'm Saqib Sheikh. I lost my sight when I was 7, and shortly after that I went to a school for the blind, and that's where I was introduced to talking computers, and that really opened up a whole new world of opportunities. I joined Microsoft 10 years ago as a software engineer. I love making things which improve people's lives. And one of the things I've always dreamt of since I was at university was this idea of something that could tell you at any moment what's going on around you.
I think it's a man jumping in the air doing a trick on a skateboard.
I teamed up with like-minded engineers to make an app which lets you know who and what is around you. It's based on top of the Microsoft Intelligence APIs, which makes it so much easier to make this kind of thing. The app runs on smartphones, but also on the Pivot Head smart glasses. When you're talking to a bigger group, sometimes you can talk and there's no response, and you think, is everyone listening really well, or are they half asleep? And you never know.
I see 2 faces, 40-year-old man with a beard looking surprised, 20-year-old woman looking happy.
The app can describe the general age and gender of the people around me and what their emotions are, which is incredible. One of the things that's most useful about the app is the ability to read out text.
Hello, good afternoon. Here's your menu.
Great, thank you. I can use the app on my phone to take a picture of the menu, and it's going to guide me on how to take that correct photo.
Move camera to the bottom right and away from the document.
And then it'll recognize the text. Read me the headings.
I see appetizers, salads, paninis, pizzas, pastas.
Years ago, this was science fiction. I never thought it would be something that you could actually do. But artificial intelligence is improving at an ever faster rate, and I'm really excited to see where we can take this. As engineers, we're always standing on the shoulders of giants, building on top of what went before. And in this case, we've taken years of research from Microsoft Research to pull this off.
I think it's a young girl throwing an orange frisbee in the park.
For me, it's about taking that far-off dream and building it one step at a time. I think this is just the beginning.
So if you think about that, that's pretty amazing how his life has changed just by using the Seeing AI app. The Seeing AI app is available now, so if any of you do know anyone that's visually impaired, download it and share it with them. So why is AI really important for us as marketers? Because creativity is important to us. And for us as marketers, creativity is really important to our customers. So how can we use AI to create experiences? If we think about the time and energy it takes to design websites, write ads, design online advertising, creativity is really important. Let's take a look at how AI impacted creativity by using the example of Rembrandt. These paintings up here were scanned by AI technology to see if it could create a long-lost Rembrandt to fool the art world. The results were amazing. It looks like a painting from Rembrandt's time. You couldn't tell the difference. So if we can create things with AI like this, imagine what we can do for our customers today. So you're probably wondering what Bing has to do with any of Microsoft's AI technology. Well, Bing is much bigger than you realise it is. We're not just a search engine, we're not just Microsoft's search engine. Respectively, we have market share in Australia of 12%, UK 25%, US 35%. But Bing, powers much of Microsoft's ecosystem and AI capabilities. We're integrated into every product of Microsoft, whether that's through your Xbox, Cortana, Windows, or Office. It's all powered by Bing. So we've evolved over time and we've been on a journey of our own. We were a destination site in 2009, and as I just mentioned, where we are today is we power all of Microsoft's ecosystem. So no matter where you are in a Microsoft device, the search bar or the query bar is all powered by Bing. So as I just mentioned, Bing is Microsoft's largest AI application, and we are integrated into all of our products, including our digital assistant Cortana, our chatbot, our cognitive services, whilst all leveraging and sitting in the cloud. So we heard on the panel before, who basically stole my whole talk track, about personalisation and how it is important. It's never been so important for us today. Netflix do this really, really well. I have two small children, two boys, 5 and 3, and they're Netflix obsessed. But Netflix, because of their search history, recommends shows for them to watch based on their search history of the Power Rangers or, I don't know, whatever else crap they watch. Waze is another one that does really well. Waze gets us to our destination in the shortest amount of time, avoiding traffic, accidents, and Microsoft also do it with our Office 365 focused inbox, where we are moving all our emails that we interact with the people the most and pushing them to the focused inbox. So personalisation has never been so important for the world today. So what opportunity does AI present for us as marketers? The opportunity is huge. In fact, research states that it's actually a $1.2 trillion opportunity. Think about that for a second. That's a lot of money that we are able to make and that have the opportunity for our customers. 85% of businesses by 2020, that's 16 months away, will some way or another use AI, use the power of AI. But I guess, what are some of the opportunities AI is putting forward for us today, for our customers? We can turn data, lots of data that we have access to, into insights, whilst creating more engaging customer experiences and also more exciting. Because at the end of the day, we're all competing against each other for that customer. So what's going to make you stand out to them is all about the experience that you're going to be creating for them. Whilst increasing efficiencies. We all like the sound of that, about increasing efficiencies. It's about increasing the better time, saving money and resource. So let's take a look at the data that you all have access to today. So you have access to customer data, you have access to demo data, you all have access to web activity, and of course search, which is your customer's intent. So you have access to all this data, and we at Microsoft have a wealth of knowledge and access to a lot of data. We've split our data into 3 sections. In them, we've combined it in what we've called the Microsoft Graph. We have access to world data, we have access to work knowledge, and obviously our user knowledge. Now, this pulls in so much data, examples of 1.5 billion entities we have on Bing. Cortana is our personal digital assistant, and we've got 148 million active users on Cortana. Windows, we've got, I don't have my card up here, but it's like a third of the world are active Windows users. That's amazing. That's crazy if you think about the amount of people that is. And then Office 365 and Dynamics, it's 1.2 million active monthly users. And LinkedIn is 500 million subscriptions. So what we've done at Microsoft is we've combined all that data into what we call the Microsoft Graph. And something we launched a few months ago in the US is our Microsoft Audience Network. And what that is, it's using all of Microsoft Graph data to put the right message in front of the right audience at the right time. And we're waiting for this to be launched in market in the coming months in Australia. So there's not many audiences that have actually seen this, so it's pretty exciting to share with you today. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk about how creating experiences for our customers has never been so important. For every brand, being able to engage with consumers, customers, and partners is essential to them. And I'm going to share with you some ways in which is exciting for us today. Our expectations are to engage with the brand 24/7. Wherever they are, whenever they are, I expect to be able to get an answer. I'm going to use Virgin as an example because that set the bar for my customer engagement experiences. I'm a Virgin frequent flyer. I am able just by their app, I can talk to somebody, I can book my flight, I can check in, I can pick a seat, I can book a hotel, and even book a car if needed, all without leaving that chatbot experience. So Virgin's pretty much set the bar for me, and I expect to be able to contact and engage with the brand 24/7. Like most of us, we lead with very busy life. I lead a very busy life, and you don't have time to be able to contact a brand during the day, 7 to 7. So a chatbot is how makes our life a lot easier. A couple of months ago, our CEO, Satya Nadella, said that the expectation is that every brand will create an intelligent chatbot. And that's what I just mentioned then. They've set the bar to be able to create a chatbot. A question for you all, has anyone here created a chatbot? Do your businesses have a chatbot? You know, a little bit. Well, Microsoft is making it easy to create one. I'm going to share with you, this is an example in the US, Home Advisor, who do this really, really well. Using text and image recognition, the chatbot is able to identify the picture uploaded here, which is a broken fence, ask if it is a broken fence, correct, get the location of where the repair is needed, then asked if I need an instant quote or if I would like a list of professionals for me to choose from. I can scroll and see who I would like based on recommendations, view their profile, contact them, can get a quote straight away, all done without having to leave the chatbot experience. So as you can see, for consumers and your consumers, being able to engage with you 24/7 is basically expectations. So people assume that creating a bot takes time, resource, money, and it's some people associate creating a chatbot as being a little bit of the unknown, but Microsoft have a bot framework where coded once, we can deploy across multiple channels, as you can see here, those being Facebook Messenger, Skype, Microsoft Teams, and of course Bing. So Bing is trialling how we can make chatbots more easily accessible and discoverable by displaying the chatbot on the search results page. For me personally, this is another make my life easy scenario. I'm celiac, and my 5-year-old son is also celiac. So for me to book a restaurant, I need to make sure that the menu not just caters to myself, but caters to my fussy 5-year-old. I can do all this by clicking on the chatbot and having the conversation without leaving the search results page. So once again, it's all about creating my experience as a consumer much better. To have a play, copy this Q&A Maker web domain down and you can download and import your FAQ pages, and it will spit out a bot and help deploy a bot in under 10 minutes. Now, we've trialled this for a number of our clients, and one of the guys in our team was able to build a bot for David Jones in around 10 minutes. So it's a good way to get started and get the feel for what a chatbot can do. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about how customer experience and engaging with customers is going to change. And we're seeing a little bit of this at the moment through mixed reality. Research also suggests 95% of our interactions will be powered by AI within the next 7 years. So we heard from the panel before about voice search and how we are becoming more curious about voice search. Statistics show that 50% of searches within the next, less than 18 months, so 15, 16 months, will be done by images and voice. So we will no longer be typing in a search on a search results page. We're already being curious with voice search at the moment. We continue as Australians to test and learn with voice search. And when we surveyed 60% of Australians said that they had used a digital assistant. At Microsoft, it's not so much about having a physical speaker in every office and every home. It's all about having our products voice enabled. So I can see a few, see a Lenovo there. So do you have Microsoft? Yep. So each product that Microsoft have, whether that's, as you can see here, Windows, Bing, Office, Cortana, or Xbox, it is all voice enabled. Some of you may have heard in the news a couple of weeks ago how Alexa and Cortana now can speak to each other. So what does that mean? If I have an Alexa at home and I'm using my Lenovo, which has got Microsoft products on it, I can ask Alexa to ask Cortana if I'm free on Monday at 10 o'clock to have a team meeting. They will have a conversation, check out my diary, book that team meeting in with my team members, and it's in my diary. I can do that without even opening my laptop. If you think about that for a second, that is pretty crazy. The opportunities for us with voice are pretty amazing as a society. So when you think about mixed reality, by 2020, 30% of our web browsing is going to be screenless on products such as Microsoft HoloLens. So here, this gentleman is got the Microsoft HoloLens on, and he's wanting to buy a chair to furnish his home. He can do this without a screen. He can search online, choose a chair, check if it's going to match, see the height, pay for it, get it delivered, all without opening a computer. You can even watch YouTube, I believe, at the moment on our HoloLens, and we're even seeing customers experiment with HoloLens at the moment. Ford is using it to design their cars. And also, if I'm looking to buy a car and say my husband isn't anywhere to be found, he's somewhere else at work, and he's got access to a HoloLens, we can communicate via HoloLens, seeing the car, changing the interior, seeing what different colour it looks like, changing the wheels, all by us being in completely different countries. It's pretty amazing what the world is going to be like. So in summary, we are staring at an opportunity that we never thought possible, but it is possible today, where we're leveraging the power of artificial intelligence in an exciting way to empower each and every one of us. I've shared with you how it's not about artificial intelligence, it's about intelligence amplified, how we as humans are in charge of what the possibilities of artificial intelligence is. I've also shared with you how Bing is Microsoft's largest AI application, and we're all more than just a search engine, and we're powering all of Microsoft's ecosystem, to how we as marketers need to think about creating new experiences for our customers using voice, chatbots, and mixed reality. So thanks for having me. I'm going to bring Adam up in case there is any questions.
Please thank Renee. I'm also bringing up Adam, who's going to join us. So Adam Goodman, please give him a round of applause, Adam. Adam is the Senior Audience Marketing Lead at Microsoft. So I thought it was time to get fireside chat Thanks for the presentation. It was fantastic. I love all those videos. That video that you showed about the vision impaired, I use that at the end of some of the keynotes that I use, and it's just so inspiring. People just go, wow.
Have you seen the Emma video?
No.
It's our new video displaying how we have helped Parkinson's disease,
Wow.
and we've designed a watch that looks very similar to what an Apple Watch would look like, and what it does is it sends radiation through your hand, and it's demoed by a young girl, and hasn't written her name before. The video is quite emotional, and you can see her writing her name, and it's just amazing. So that's another video.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm
Check
going to look
it
that one up. Hopefully on YouTube. Yeah,
on
Yeah,
YouTube, Project
on YouTube.
Emma.
fantastic. So I just want to deep dive, because one of the things, guys, artificial intelligence, and just I was looking at some stats before, and it's interesting. Bright Edge did a survey to say what are the biggest marketing trends that are going to impact on us, and number one was consumer personalization, and number two was AI. So this is going to be a big part, and some of the exciting stuff I didn't know. Anyone sort of understand? Did you know all that stuff from Bing? Did you know all this was happening? Hands up if you didn't. There you go. So we've learned a lot today about. So I was going to ask Adam if you can maybe share some examples. Examples of in the field of bots, voice, mixed reality, stuff that you guys have been working on.
Yeah. So bots. Renee showed one example of Home Advisor, but let's take a look of, say, car insurance. We've seen a couple of brands in the US, Progressive Online as one of them, where you're able to, let's say you have an accident, and instead of then calling your insurance company to find out, right, the back left bumper's broken, the car wheel's broken, whatever it might be, you can immediately take a photo of that car accident. It will automatically send it back, recognize what's damaged, automatically send you back a quote, capture the person's details through bump. So you can basically bump your phones and you've got your other person's contact details. And then book in a repair, like within literally a minute.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So that's using something called the Microsoft Cognitive Services, which is essentially a set of APIs that a lot of what Renee shared with you today, so image recognition, text, voice, and being able to leverage the power of that, and then giving you those tools to basically build apps or bots, whatever it might be.
It's amazing, because we were talking earlier on, actually throughout the whole conference about chatbots and how they sometimes can be more frustrating than conversational. But that example you showed of the picture and the one you've just given then, that a picture can actually be identified by using that technology behind, is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Renee, like with, again, a survey I found like only 15% at the moment of enterprises, enterprise businesses are actually using AI, but it's growing tremendously. So how do you kind of introduce the conversation with an enterprise company on how to come up with ideas to use AI?
I guess it's all about being curious. People are more afraid to try AI. So I deal with agencies, and I work with Publicis, who's one of the biggest global agencies. They're definitely not a stranger to AI, and they're definitely not afraid to trial it. But when you speak about specific customers that sit within an agency, it's more about educating them and getting them to understand that AI isn't like the Terminator, and that it is something exciting. And also, we need to get on board, because if you're not getting on board, your competitor's getting on board, and then your potential customers are going to go over to that competitor because it's a more exciting experience for them. So I think for us, we really need to just continue to educate the market on AI.
Yeah.
And I think just to one point, does anyone know of Marcel from Publicis? So Marcel is essentially leveraging the power of AI to connect, I think it's 80,000 of Publicis' internal employees together, so that if a company came to them with a brief, they can access everyone's collaboratively and be able to achieve that. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it connects 80,000 employees the 1,200 agencies that sit under Publicis globally and their 185,000 customers all together to answer briefs. So it's pretty, that's a partnership partnership, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Your powerful brains trust,
Yeah,
wouldn't it,
yeah,
to have access to that. Guys, do you have any questions? Because this is you must have something out there, because otherwise I'm just going to keep going asking my questions, and I think this is an option to grab these, a bit of a brains trust that we have from these two up here today.
I was hoping we weren't going to do Q&A.
That's all right. Adam would take the hard questions, Renee.
Yeah, that's good.
Renee, my question is in understanding what you said about being not just being a search engine, but obviously in terms of AI, significant moves to using that. But I guess for a lot of us in the room today, we're overpowered by the use of Google all the time, and that's where we tend to go. Would you say for companies that they need to be using both? And the other part of the question is, do you see Bing obviously overhauling that dominance that Google has in that area?
I'll answer your first question, no. Your second part of the question, no. We don't want to compete in that space the same as Google. We're a very different engine, and we have a very different audience. So I'm sure majority of you here today think that our audience is grandma and grandpa sitting at home trying to figure out how to use their computer. However, our audience is much younger. Our biggest peak of audience is between 25 and 45-year-olds. Mm-hmm. We have a higher disposable income. We're more educated. Our 12% market share is desktop heavy. And it's all because of Microsoft products being deployed, in the office Monday to Friday. Our search engine, traffic is heavily Monday to Friday as well. So Google also have a great mobile story, but Bing, as I mentioned, isn't just about being a search engine. We are so much more than that. Mm-hmm. And I think for us at Microsoft, we're all about empowering every person and every organisation on the planet to achieve more. Yes, that's our mission statement, but we, as Microsoft employees, really believe in that, and we do take that really, really seriously. So, yes, look, I've been in digital media for 18 years, and I sold Google ads. I know exactly, what you're saying in regards to that, but I now work on the other side, and we are just so much more than a search engine. So should customers advertise on both? Of course. It's all about capturing as many customers as we can, right? You're not going to turn away a client because they're not, you wouldn't turn away a customer who doesn't walk through your door. So we need to make sure we are giving our customers, putting them in front of the right audience. But Bing isn't, I could get hit by Adam here. Bing isn't for every industry. When we talk about the search engine, our best performing verticals are finance, because we really need to link it to our demo, right? And who uses our engine. So our top performing verticals are finance, tech and telco, travel, and auto. So they're our top four. Oh, and retail. Sorry, retail's our fastest growing vertical. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much because of our audience that we have. Kind of blabbed on a bit there, but hopefully that answers your question. I'm
sure there was an answer in there. That was fantastic. Guys, if you've got any more questions, please put your hand up so we can bring the catch box across to you. I was going to ask just out of the box here, just in terms of listening to what you were saying before about how you had Alexa talking to your phone and booking in appointments, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
But is that the way we're heading? Like, is email becoming a thing of the past? Is it always going to, because I know that's part of what you guys do, but is email starting to become less because it's not instant?
I don't know about less. I recently just came back from Vegas, and they showed essentially the future of meetings. And if you think about how the amount of times you go into a meeting and most of you are on email, or someone's capturing notes, or essentially it's using voice and image recognition. So you can basically walk into a meeting room, there's a camera that recognizes it's Adam, it's Renee, it's sitting at a table. It understands my individual voice, and it's capturing word for word everything I'm saying. As soon as I say, right, I'll make sure I send that over tomorrow, it's also putting that into action notes and emailing it back to me at the end of the meeting. So if you think about email today and essentially what you're doing it for versus what it could be and where it's turning to. It's essentially taking voice and being able to email on the back of it, but asking it to go and do it. It just naturally does it rather than you sitting there typing
Just
it.
making it more seamless.
Yeah, it's making our lives easier.
Yeah,
It's so simple.
which is what technology should do,
yeah,
isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. How do people get started with AI? So I know we talked about enterprise and people moving into enterprise. I love your example of is it QNAmaker.ai? Is it that simple? It looks like fairly simple for people to use. So anybody here can go away today and literally create a chatbot.
Yep, exactly that. I tested one out as an example of going to QA Maker or dev.bot framework, which was also up on the slide. And essentially, you can just take your FAQ page. So if you imagine you're a small retailer, and how many times might you get a phone call saying, what's your opening hours? Or do you sell X, Y, and Z? If you've got that within your FAQ page, you can literally copy that URL and paste it, and it will create you an example bot so that as a customer, if I came through and had a chat and say, what's your opening hours? It would just basically recognize that automatically.
Yeah.
So it's really, really that simple.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot deeper one. So the example of Home Advisor, that uses a lot more of the APIs that the bot framework has access to. But as a basic FAQ one, it's very easy to get started.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because I'd see FAQs on so many websites, and it's kind of like, the old concertina menu where you've got to kind of search down this A to Z listing to find a question. People just don't have time for that anymore, doesn't it? Just type in my question and let technology answer what we're going to do.
And I think the other one is the perception that you have to build a bot for Slack, and then you have to build a bot for Facebook Messenger, and then you have to build a bot for Teams or whatever it might be. You essentially want to try and make it as easy as possible. So it's just seeing what tools are out there. This is just one example, but being able to build once and then deploy across multiple should hopefully save a lot of time.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm really super excited to see Bing go further and further because there's some interesting stuff up there. So it'd be nice to have you back next year to tell us more stuff and also what's actually happened. Please thank Renee and Adam from Microsoft.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.